Good morning, Ms. Cooper.
Good morning.
Ms. Cooper, my name is Alvin Roche. To my left is Ms. Pearl Wise, and to my right is Ms. Cheryl Renazi. Will compose your panel today. Let me explain the process to you. I will read some information into the record. Once that information is record, we'll conduct a thorough interview with you. At the appropriate time, we'll give the staff at Louisiana Transition Center for Women a chance to make a remark. We also have Ms. Juanice Johnson, your grandmother, who'd like to make a statement. Regina Rowe, with Juanita, your mother, and she will not be speaking. Colby Ward, a friend, who will be speaking. And Patty Battlefield, your grandmother, would also like to make a statement. After those statements, you will be given a chance to make a brief closing statement on why you should be released early. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Miss, 1 second, let me pull up your case. Okay, Ms. Cooper, you are a second felony offender. Your charges are cause of knowledge of a juvenile and duty of the offender to report. And that charge is failure to report as a sex offender. You were sentenced originally on January 21st, 2020, and received a 5-year sentence, and you were revoked because you failed to register, and you were sentenced again on August 5th, 2021 for attempted failure to register. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you received a 6-month sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And with that sentence and the time left over from the other sentence, your total sentence is 5 years and 6 months. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Your parole date is December 1st, 2023. Your adjusted good time date is May 24th, 2025, and your full term date is September 20th, 2025. Is all that information correct?
Yes, sir.
Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Renaza. Would you please answer Mrs. Renaza's question?
Good morning, Ms. Cooper. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. So how long have you been, let's see, you were revoked in April of 21?
Yes, ma'am. I've been incarcerated 27 months.
Okay. And are you enrolled in any programs now?
I'm taking Dr. Hanser's treatment class.
Is that what kind of class is that?
It's for sex offenders.
Sex offender?
Yes,
And have you completed any, how many, I think there's several phases. Have you completed some of the phases?
yes, ma'am. I don't know how many phases I've completed, but I should have about completed the whole class.
How long have you been in that class?
A little over a year.
Good, yeah, so you ought to be getting close to finishing. Have you learned anything about yourself?
I'm sorry?
Have you learned anything about yourself
Yes, ma'am.
through that class? Good. So so do you do that full time, or is there any other classes you're also?
That's the only class that I've been taking.
Yeah. So is that a full-time class, or do you have a job also?
I do not have a job at this current moment. No, ma'am.
Have you had a job since you've been there?
No, ma'am.
Just go to school. How do you spend your day?
I read a lot and I try to stay in my word and my devotionals.
Good. So, as Mr. Roche mentioned, you're classified as a second felony offender, and I think you were afforded probation after sentencing. You were sent to a program in Bayou Dorcheat. What was that program?
That was, it's not really considered a prison. It's kind of like a parish jail.
Yeah, right. But what kind of program did you do there?
I didn't do any schooling program there. I just did my time there.
Did some time, and then you were released on, I guess, good time. And then you just kind of seem not to have done well once you got out of there.
Yes, ma'am.
So it looks to me that, let's see, you had multiple violations because that was probation supervision. You absconded, you were found in Marshall, Texas, you're arrested there. You were arrested in Harrison County, Texas, for fraud and shoplifting. And then, of course, the failure to register on 2 separate occasions. You didn't report like you were supposed to. So what was going on? Why could you not follow the rules of probation?
I believe getting this charge and having that jacket on me really put me in a state of depression and just caused me to go downhill. And I really didn't know what to do with my life anymore.
So you were still using drugs?
Yes, ma'am.
And what have you done to address that issue? Because I see you were 15, about 15 at your first arrest. What was that?
Marijuana.
And then you've had several other arrests since then as an adult that involved drugs. Simple burglary, theft, assuming all that was drug related as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So what have you done to address that problem?
Well, I'm currently been talking to somebody that runs a sober living house, and I'm trying to get into a sober living house whenever I get out and work the steps and do a program. That way I can regain my life and stay sober and stay on the right track instead of trying to do it all by myself.
So have you asked there at LTCW about a substance abuse program? Have you asked?
I have wrote for classes, but the responses that I've got said that I would be put into classes as needed within my year of release.
Okay. Well, I'm glad at least you get to take advantage of Dr. Hanser's class. So let's talk about why you're here in the first place. My notes say that the carnal knowledge charge was because you were involved in a sexual relationship with your husband's brother. He was underage.
Yes, ma'am.
And the claim that I see in the record, in the documents I have, he claims he was raped by you, that you drugged him. Is that true?
No, ma'am.
So what happened?
He's always had a thing for me and been in love with me whenever he was younger, but I thought that just went away. And we was close as he got older, but I thought, we just had that kind of relationship because, we'd been a part of each other's lives for a long time. And he ended up coming on to me one night, and I should have stopped it, should have did more than what I did, and I didn't.
It happened more than once.
Yes, ma'am.
So what have you learned about you in that regard in Dr. Hanser's class?
That it was a terrible mistake that should have never happened. That it was something that ruined my life. And it's not only I'm paying for it now, it's something that's going to follow me for the rest of my life.
Are you still married to your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
I asked that question because I know this was his brother, and then somewhere in the record I saw where your plan was your residence plan was with your husband in Plainview.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's he today?
He's in sober living as well. He's in West Monroe. He went to rehab and now he's in sober living.
It's good to hear. You will face some challenges, as you know. You have to register, and that's kind of why didn't you notify them of your address change?
I registered like 2 or 3 times, and then every time you move, you got to do it again and pay a lot of money. And so the last time I really just became homeless and didn't have nowhere to register at.
Became homeless, both you and your husband were homeless,
I wasn't with my husband at the time. We was split up.
but you've reconciled.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, you have, as I mentioned, you have a poor supervision history as the Department of Corrections does some risk assessments. You have a moderate risk score. You have some high needs in terms of mental health. Are you seeing mental health, or have you ever seen a mental health professional?
I have before, yes, ma'am.
Did you ever get a diagnosis?
Depression and anxiety.
Are you currently on meds for that?
No, ma'am.
Do you plan to follow up with that?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of the first things I need to do whenever I get out. Is go to the doctor and get back on my medication.
Where was your drug issues, an attempt to self-medicate?
Yes, ma'am.
So you gotta learn to do what the doctor says, not take.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us, what do you feel you need to be successful? When you think about your life outside of prison, what barriers do you think you'll face?
It depends on where I live, because it stipulations on where I can live, where I can work. But I know that there is places and people that's willing to help you, like halfway houses or sober living houses, that'll help you get on your feet and help you find the right choice and place for you.
So what's the barrier? Just the where to live and where to work?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's your sobriety plan? How are you gonna stay clean and sober?
I want to go to meetings and I want to work the steps.
Have you ever been to an AA meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
The last time you've been to one?
It's been a few years.
So once you quit going, then you relapsed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't have any other questions at this time. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What?
Good morning, Ms. Cooper.
Good morning.
The records I have show you have a federal detainer. Do you know anything about that?
No, ma'am. I shouldn't have any detainers as I don't have any pending or new charges. I feel like that was just a mistake. I've been trying to get it taken care of and figure out what it is that's showing up.
Okay, good. All right, then. Thank you. That's all I had, Tim.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go in order of importance, and I'm gonna ask Ms. Wanish Johnson, the grandmother, to open the mic, and you have 2 or 3 minutes to make a statement. Ms. Wanish Johnson. Ms. Johnson,
Is she still on the phone? You get
Ms. Johnson. Let's go to Ms. Patty Battlefield. Ms. Battlefield, would you please?
Yes, sir.
Would you open your mic? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would you please give us your name and your statement?
My name is Patricia Battlefield. I am Katelyn Cooper's grandmother on her daddy's side. And I feel like that she's learned a lot from the correspondence and the messages that we have been talking back and forth to each other. I do know that her biggest drawback will be having a place to stay and all, but I'm willing to help her as much as possible. My job limits me on some of that, But I think that she has learned a lot and that she can move forward given the right support from home. And I've been willing to do that for her.
Thank you, Ms. Battlefield. We appreciate your attending the hearing. Mrs. Johnson. Ms. Juanita Johnson. Your mic is muted. Would you please open your mic? Can we open the mic for her?
I can open it. You have to.
Let's
Sir, they
hear-
live sir, if I may speak, they live in a real rural area, and where she's at, she may not be getting a very good signal to be able to hear or understand you. It may take her a few moments.
Okay, okay. In the meantime, Mr. Kobe Ward. Mr. Kobe Ward,
Hello.
Ms. Johnson.
No, this is Kobe.
Okay, Ms. Kobe, would you give us your full name and your statement, please?
My name is Kobe Ward, and I am Katelyn's friend. We've been friends since we were 5. And during this time that she's been incarcerated, this recent time, I've noticed that her mindset has changed. Whereas in previous times, she's been in trouble a lot in the last couple of years. I could tell that she wasn't ready to help herself, but I really do feel that this time she's realized that her life doesn't have to be over for the mistakes that she made, that she can fix it if she tries. And I really believe she's willing to try this time. She has a very good heart. She just made a lot of mistakes. And I think one of the biggest problems was that she had nowhere safe to go when she got out this last time to register, and she was struggling very hard to find a place. And it's hard to see your friend be homeless and not be able to take her in, because I have children. But I think that if she gets into some kind of home or somewhere where there's things to help her get back on her feet so she can get a job and get a car and not have to rely on her street skills, her street smarts to get by, if she was set up right, I think that I know that she could do better in life.
Thank you, Ms. Ward.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Juanita Johnson? Okay. She's still muted. Okay. Ms. Cooper, would you like to give a closing statement?
Yes, sir. I know that I made some bad choices. And I truly regret everything that I've done. If I could go back and change it, I would. I take full responsibility for my actions. But I know that I can do right. I have a good family. I come from a good family. I have their support. I'm willing to do anything I need to do to prove myself and to gain my life back that I once have. I want to be a member of society again, a normal person. I know I can do it. I'm just asking for the chance.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Very, very well stated. Very well stated.
Motion for executive session.
Second, there's a motion and a second for the executive session to discuss confidential matters. Would you call a roll, please? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Cooper, give us a couple of minutes. We're going into executive session to discuss confidential matters. We will be back with you in a second, okay?
Okay, thank you.
The Committee on Parole is reconvening. Time is 10:38. It's a panel ready to vote.
Yes.
Ms. Benazzi.
All right. Ms. Cooper, yours is a difficult case. I think that you have some challenges as you've acknowledged. You know, you have challenges that you're going to face for quite some time once you release. I do believe, I am concerned about your substance abuse issue. I think before you are released, you need to be afforded the opportunity for some substance abuse treatment. So my vote today, because of that, is to deny your parole with a strong, very strong recommendation to the facility that you be afforded the opportunity to get enrolled in the substance abuse class. Because that's going to help you with some good time. You'll move, the good time date will move up. And then also ask the facility, their transition specialists, either within or probation or parole, to work with you to try to find you suitable housing and to work with you on employment as well. But after release, I add a special condition, because you'll release on your good time whenever that date lands, because you get some credits, that you're to have no contact with your victim or his immediate family. Now, I know your husband is family, I'm excluding him from that. But him or his siblings or his parents. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to succeed, I really do, but I think you need some help in that regard. So I wish you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Renata. Ms. Wise?
All right, Ms. Cooper, you are so blessed to have a friend like Kobe. You know, I heard what she said, and say, you got good support, and that's a blessing. But for me today, my vote is to deny as well, to leave you there and get an opportunity to take more programs so that you be better equipped to get out. So when things start happening, you'll have your support system in place. I concur with my colleagues. My vote is the same for the same reasons. But best wishes to you now.
Thank you.
Ms. Cooper, you still got some work to do. You have to finish your sex offender treatment program, and then the staff there will put you in a substance abuse treatment program, and you learn additional good time, and your good time date will move up. But the idea of this process is to release you, but release you with the necessary tools that you need to be successful. We don't want you to be released and come back. We want you to have the things you need so you can be successful. My vote is the same for the same reason. Your request for early release has been denied. Good luck.
Thank you.